Evening, everybody.
Evening, everybody. This is Chris's Country Creations.
Wait now. Stop. Slow down.
Yeah.
Something vintage. Give it a few seconds for everybody to join us.
Madam.
Hiya, if you're watching, drop us a comment. I can see the comments, so I can see if you are. I can interact with it. That's what I'm trying to say. Welcome to my channel. I can see everybody starting to come in. While I'm waiting for everybody, I'm just going to get the glues I need for tonight. Shall I knock this on? Hiya, Fiona. Hiya, Eva. I'm just debating something. Shall I knock my glue gun on or shall I leave it off? I think I'll leave it off. I think I'll leave my glue gun off. I think. How is everybody this evening? Is everybody okay? I've just taken a sip of my tea and it's freezing cold. I keep forgetting my tea's around me. And then when I go drink it, it's absolutely freezing cold. Right, okay. So, okay, thanks. It's very cold. Yes, cold here as well. Ava, it's really, really cold. Is it cold where you are, Fiona? I don't think it is it, Australia? Have you received your goodies? It did say mine would take 7 to 10 days. They are on their way, I promise. Promise. So you'll have a nice little package coming from me soon. Yay! Right, I need some brushes too. Oh, Chris has nabbed my brushes again.
No, I have not.
No, I have not. Can you hear him? No, I have not.
Yes, you are.
Right, okay, tonight. Right, first of all, last week I said I would post I had a vision that I was going to post everybody's tags and the decorations you all made me. I was going to post it on sort of one big display board and post it in my room. Blame it on Chris, he hasn't put the display board up, but I have had inspiration of somebody else, and if she pops in I will tell you who she is in a second. Not yet, let you know, sweetie, it's going to be a hot day. Oh, how lucky. You're so lucky. We went out today and we had scarves, hats, gloves. We had a lot because it's so cold. Hey, Angie Brown. So yeah, the inspiration, right, so I've had an idea with these tags that I had you all to make me. Like I say, yeah, the original idea, I was going to have them displayed on my display board, which Chris is going to be putting up for me this week. He doesn't know it yet, but that's what he's going to be doing. Right, but these are all the tags that everybody made me. And I absolutely love them. And I was thinking, if I stick it down, face down like that, I'm not going to be able to see the back. And the back is just as beautiful as the front. Some of them I've got like the little buttons. That one Jane made me. See, Debbie made me this one, and that's the back and that's the front. So the back is just as beautiful. Avril made me that one. I could just go on. I've showed you all these before. But what I'm saying is my inspiration came off YouTube. And I think that's what YouTube's all about, is giving each other inspiration. And I'm doing a challenge. I'm not doing a challenge. I'm doing an entry for a challenge, sorry. And the part of the challenge is to make 2 tags 7 by 3.5 inches. I think I may slightly have got the measurement wrong there. I might have to check. I think it's 7 by 3.5. And they're for somebody called Pearl and Button on YouTube, and her name is Siobhan. Siobhan. Maybe pronouncing that wrong. That was my dog saying hello to you all. So yes, Siobhan wanted these tags to be made because she wants to wrap all the laces around them, and she wants to put them in the box. Now, I asked you all to put hooks on these tags, and behind me, I don't know whether you're all aware of this, but Chris made me like it's like a display unit basically, and it's got 2 bedside cabinets, one each end, and then it's got a pole in the centre with all hooks on, and that's where I keep my laces because I like to see things. I like to be able to know that it's there for me to use it. So I've decided, and I've sent an email to Siobhan, and I know she won't I know she won't mind. Like I say, I've had inspiration off her about wrapping my laces around it. I've started to do them, and then the ones that aren't tagged will go on my display board, and I'll be able to see them a lot better because they'll be hung. And these I'll be able to see the backs as well as the fronts. So don't think just because you've made me a decoration it's not going to be in my room. It is going to be in my room. You've all put hangers on the decorations, like I had umbrellas and hats and rattle ones and all different kinds of ones. And anyway, they're going to be hung on my display board, but I'm going to make use of these fabric tags, and I'm going to wrap my laces around them. And like I say, I've started to do it on this one. But I just wanted to tell you, because I didn't want you to think, oh, we've made all them tags, where are they going to go? That's where they're going to go. So I've had inspiration of Siobhan, like I say. And that's what I'm going to do. You are right, I have made 3 books. Angie says she's made 3 books and she's on her 4th one. Right, okay, so tonight I thought I'd do something vintage with you. Recently, I can't show you what I've done because it's for the swap group, but it will be put on a video once our month is up in the swap, which is next week. And you'll see what I've done. But I'm not gonna I'm really trying not hard to look at the box I've actually done because I don't want to iterate on this one. But the idea is I'm going to make this box into, that's pink by the way, I'm going to make this box into a vintage box. Yeah, it's going to be posted out to somebody. So that's what I'm going to do. Now the box isn't, it's got a little clasp on the side and it looks like a book. It's not that big inside. It's perfect for putting little things in. And yeah, that's what I've done. So for the front of the box is actually a chalkboard, but I've tried writing on this and it's not working as a chalkboard, sadly it's not. And I had this from The Works. Now I might have to ask Chris to come and peel this off. Hiya Dawn! Oh god, I'm gonna have to ask Chris to come and peel this off. And I bought this for £3, which I can't remember the dollar's worth more than £1. Oh, come on. And I haven't got my glue gun plugged in. The simple reason is I haven't been using it. I've been using, what have I been using?
High tack.
Chris is going, high tack. I've been using high tack, as Chris has just shouted out. And I've been using silicone glue. I'll show you now in a second, but I've got them out and I've got the tacky wax out. Chris,
Yeah.
can you come and peel this off? Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Right, let's get started. I think you have to use chalk paint on those boards. Is it chalk paint that you... Hi Angie! Is it chalk paint that you got to use on these boards? I don't know. Well, I'm not going to use it as a chalkboard. So I'm going to get started. I've done a little technique on the thing that I've made for the swap. I'm going to do a little bit on you. I've done it now. I'm just trying to peel the thing off. But I'm going to do... Now on the side, I can't decide whether to use, because I want it to be vintage, I can't decide whether to use this paper all the way around or to use my method of using an old book. Is everybody confused? I'll show you now. Okay, so this is the old book and I'm only going to go around the edges and I'm going to do it that way. So shall I do, well you decide ladies, shall I do the book pages or shall I go around the edge with this paper? I'll tell you what I'm doing on top. I'm going to be making it into like a vintagey scene. I've got some, I've just been looking at them actually. I've got these to go on top, some of these chalkboard chipboard shapes, I can't say that quick, and these ones, these came from the works, they're only £1, so yes. And she says book pages, yeah, he likes the book pages, me likes the book pages technique, I must admit. Right, let's get Mod Podge on the scene then, if everybody's okay with me using book pages. Okay, so Mod Podge, I'll need some more of this. Oh no, I don't want to use that one. First I need a brush. I need a brush.
Right, you need a brush. Where's all your brushes?
Where they usually are.
Loads of brushes, but there you are.
Oh yeah, of course, loads, tons. Do you know an easy way to get that paper off? What paper? The book paper. I've done it. You if I wanted more of that off, you just go with a wet wipe over it and then it'll come off straight away. But as I'm not really bothered by the underneath, I've taken the majority off. See? But yeah, that's what I would say. Get an old piece of right, so and I'm not going to go in any way, shape or form. This will be dry by the time I go to do what I want to do on it. Chris, I need a bigger brush than this. I'm going to be here forever. Chris, I need a bigger brush than this, but I'm going to be here forever all night if I don't do it with the bigger brush. So like I say, I'm just going to go around the edge. So how has everybody's day been? Oh, he's passed me a bigger brush, thank God. There. can't wait for... Oh, I sent my Beatrix Potter, oh god, what was it called? Junk journal off. Can't wait for Debbie to receive it. Looking forward. Oh, and by the way, guys, if we aren't I've been involved in the live chat in other people's lives, and it's been so nice because usually I always do the lives. I do the lives and you will listen to me. So that's been quite nice recently. I've been yakking away to other people. I'm going to leave a little bit of gap, so I'm not going to be too fussy. So if we're not all sub to each other, please show your support to whoever's on tonight. I know there's different challenges going on. So if you've got a challenge going on, please comment and say you've got a challenge going on. We may not all be aware that that person's got a challenge going on. And I know it's difficult sometimes because everybody sort of does like the challenges. Well, it always works out. Even when I was doing my challenge, we had like different challenges going on in different channels. So like I say, if you've got a challenge going on or you're not sub to each other, all you got to do is click on each other's names and it'll box all up here and it'll say go to that person's channel. And yeah. Oh god, that's me. I got a challenge going on, Angie Brown says, and I've subbed to everyone on here tonight. Oh, brilliant. Yes, Angie has got a challenge going on. And like I said right at the very start, Siobhan's got a challenge going on. I'll actually tell you about both ladies. So Angie's challenge is to make, she wants you guys to make between 2 or 4 hearts embellishments to use in her projects. She's going to use them in her projects, so you can do them in your own style, in your own colour. And like I say, you know, pop on over, all the details will be over there. So that's all I'm going to do on sort of that side of things. I am going to go run this edge here. And then Siobhan's challenge is to make between 2 and 4 tags. Is it 2 or 4? Or 2 tags, sorry, between 2 tags. And to make 2 pins to go with it. Oh, and I forgot something. With Angie's challenge, because you only put it up yesterday, you, with your heart embellishments, she also wants you to decorate a pencil, which I thought that was quite pretty. To do what you can decorate a pencil so she can have them in her room. And it's, yeah, so she can have them basically in her room, which I thought that was really pretty. I'd never heard of anybody asking for an altered pencil before. So like I say, those are the 2 challenges I'm involved in. I'm also doing June's challenge. She's, I'm trying to think what she's called now on YouTube. I did forget. My brain goes all fuzzy when it comes to names. What is she called on YouTube? June Pews. Angie will help me out. I think. And help me out. What's she called? June Pews something. I can't think. Please forgive me, June. June Angel Pews. Thank you, Marie. I was trying to think then, I couldn't think. But yes, so that's another challenge I'm doing. I'm also doing, oh, thank you, Fiona. I can see you've commented the same thing. I'm also doing Debbie Vinola's challenge, which was, she's still running that till Saturday. So if you're over in America, if you're overseas, because she's based in America, you perhaps won't get there on time now. But basically all it was you needed to make something with a Beatrix Potter character. And as I really wanted to make a junk journal, I based mine on a junk journal. I obviously don't have to make a junk journal, but that's what I did for that one. June's challenge is to make a snippet bowl. Yes, I am a busy girl, Dawn. And I've got to video that one. I have done it. I've just got to video it all and show you what I've done before I post it off. But yes, Dawn, I have been busy. Busy is not the word. I have been busy. So where I can, I will, you know, get involved in other people's challenges, because I think that's part of it, really. And I like the fact that we're able to do that on YouTube too. Right. Right, now I'm going to stop there with my paper and put this over here a second, because I want to do my little technique I've been doing with my paint. I'll show you now. Get rid of all this paper. So all I've done so far is I've gone around the edge with this newspaper. See, and I might do the top, that's the bottom, Colette, the top here in a second. I think I will do that before I move on to my paper. Let's close it. Hoping that's going to stick and stay. Yes, it will. Hoping so. And I'm not going to stick it next door to each other. I'm just going to go sort of in between. Oops. You also did one for Len's Crafty Life. Oh, yes, I did. Thank you, Ange. Yes, I did. Len's Crafty Life was, that's why I didn't think of it, because she's already had hers. Len's Crafty Life, basically Len was asking for some dangle trim or some flat back pearl trim or some wedding applique, but it was either or. You didn't have to go out of your way and buy some. She just wanted a little snippet. And the other one that I want to participate in is oh god, I'm trying to think now, let me get the name right. Little Shabby Chic, Trisha. She's doing a snippet challenge, a bit of inspiration, I think that's what she called it. And I think, yeah, I quite like the sound of that one. And with that one, you have to basically do a little snippet of all the things that you love in your crafting. So it could be card, it could be fabric, it could be anything you wanted it to be, really. It didn't have to be a specific thing. So yeah, so she's doing that one. So I really wanted to take part in that one. I'm going to overlap that one, I think. Right. Like I say, I'm not going to be fussy with the top because it'll be dry by the time I go back to it. And I think that's, and I do know There are other challenges going on, but those are the only ones that I'm taking part in. Is anybody else taking part in any challenges that I've either missed or that I'm not doing, or that you may be doing? Please put them in the comments below. Let's go this way. As you can see, I'm not going in any sort of one shape with this. I am sort of going higgledy-piggledy with it. Right. There and there. Right, I'm just gonna brush that down now with my Mod Podge. Like I say, I've gone in those gaps. Middle is going to get covered up in a second, so I'm not really bothered by the middle. I just wanted it.
What percent you fell off?
I don't know. There. Right. So that is all my paper side of it done. Chris has just asked me a question. 36, Chris. Right. So, the little thing that I've been doing is this. Now, I recently picked up, let me get my ink first. We'll go vintage photos since this is something vintage. Okay, so I recently picked up this acrylic paint, and it's like a baby pink, and it's called Pale Pink. I picked this up from the works, but you could pick up any kind of colour you wanted to. I'm only using pink because this is the image that I want to use. This image actually came from, did I leave the book out? Yeah. It came from this paper pad. It's a one-side paper, decorative one. It's not two-sided, that's what I'm trying to say. And this is called Vintage Lace. Now, I don't know whether you can get this online, but that's the code just there. It's LBK, when my camera focuses, 126. LBK 126. So, these are sort of the papers that you get in there, right? And I'll just flick through some of them with you. That one, and it ranges, you can do like different ones. I was tempted to go pink, but I want to use some tea dyed lace, and I want to use some of my new brown appliques and my new brown laces. So flowers, you could cut them out individually. Sewing machine. Let me go further back and you'll see butterflies. That was a nice one. I thought, shall I do Paris, shall I, shan't I? And I was in two minds to do that, because if I do that one, I'll show you. Now I'm going to take this out and then you can decide, because I'm going to be here forever. The teacups, there's just some gorgeous paper pads. The dress form, there's just all different kinds of ones, and I just love it because it's all different kinds, and it's not just the portrait, they do go landscape, and it's all sort of vintage images. And I did recently, now I can't remember what project I did it on, but I did recently print this on fabric, use one of the images and print it on fabric, and that came out quite pretty as well. Nice paper pad, and yeah, definitely Angie. Dawn says very pretty paper pad. It is a really nice paper pad, Dawn, definitely. Okay, so these are my chipboard pieces. Two of the same. Okay, so I got these two. The first one, they're just shapes, basically. That's all they are, shapes. So the first one, I've got like different pieces like this, a chandelier, like a decorative piece. I think that's like a male mannequin. A chair, decorative pieces again, and I think that's like a knife and fork set. It's not me shaking the camera, Chris is trying to do something. up. You need to go up.
Oh, there we go.
Right, okay. So that's my first chipboard pieces. So the second chipboard pieces I've got are some birds, which I love, some doves, some more birds, a flamingo. I'm presuming that's a flamingo. Angie says, hi Chris. Some bird cages and some birds down there. Now, why I say which paper pad do I go for? Because if I went for this one, I think I'd be more inclined to go either for the decorative pieces or the bird pieces. I could possibly use the bird cages. If I wait for this one, it's a different kind of, I wouldn't call that vintage. I don't know. It's going border on vintage shabby chic, maybe. So there's that one, and as you can see, there's a chair, there's a bird cage, there's birds, so I get the variety and get to choose from both chipboard pieces. So I could choose the chair to go with this one. Since that's got the bird cage, I'd obviously choose the bird cage to match. It's got birds. So which one do you guys prefer me to go with? If I went with this one, I could still use the birds. I would use the chair or the chandelier. The chandelier would look pretty. Or do I go for the birds and alternate the both? What would you say? This one, as in, what should we call this? The woman in the picture. I like the picture of the lady. So that one with the bird cage and maybe the chandelier. I like the lady says dawn. Okay, so we'll go with the lady. Sometimes you've got to sort of look at a project and think what is suitable for that project. So that's what we'll go for. Okay, so that's that sorted. Okay, so this is nearly dry. It's a little bit wet up here, but that'll soon dry out in a second. Just gonna get rid of the excess with my brush. Right, okay, so this is what I've been doing lately. Now this is a palette, a paint palette obviously, and I'm just gonna put a little bit in there. Now I've also got in one of these bottles, I can't remember which one, this one, some water. There's ink on there, I don't know how, there is. And what I've been doing is wetting the sponge. Leave the sponge soak there for a minute. And I'm going to go with my vintage photo. I'm not going to wet this bit of the sponge. And I'm just going to go on the edges of this box. And those gaps. Like I said, not bothered by the middle because I'm going to be covering that in a second anyway. So I'm going to leave that section up there a second because it's still drying. Like I said, some of this will be dry by the time I go with my pink in a second. I'm using the Tim Holtz vintage photo. Before anybody asks me. Hi Debbie. Hi Sharon. Oh bless. Thank you. Okay. So on the spine, because it is like a book, just going to go on the edges. I should have enough on my sponge just to go to take me in that middle. There. Right, and then if I if I flick this open, I'm just going to do this bottom edge as well. So we want to keep the wood, because if you know, there's like little, I don't know what you would call them, the grains in the wood. I personally like the grains in the wood. If it was like a real boring piece of wood, I would cover the whole thing. I'd cover it completely, but because it's such a nice piece, I want to keep. Right, so like I said before, sub to each other. I just explained what challenges are going on, so to let you all know what I'm doing and what challenges are around, because sometimes we don't always know. At least I don't until somebody mentions it to me. Right, okay. So that's what I got so far. Now I'm going to put the lid on this because it'll dry out by the time I get there. Okay, so I want to make sure you guys can see. So this now got a bit damp. It's not wet, it's damp. What I would call moist. It's not wet. Otherwise, if it would be hugely wet, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm going to do. So what you do, and what I've been doing, is the water, because where I sprayed the sponge, the water is in the middle section, and it has gone over here as well. That little flackle of water is what makes it. Now bring the paint over where you've put it in. I don't want a lot on my sponge, and dab it in the centre. Get rid of the excess. All I'm going to do, because I went over on my inks, it's not going to be too bright, and it's just going to cover that right amount. And if you think, oh, it's done a little bit too much, don't cover the whole sponge. Just go over it a little slightly, and you'll see it starting to soften up, which I hope you'll be able to do. There. And once this paint, see, there's a little bit too much that side. This will soften those edges up so it won't look so dark, because even though I'm using brown lace and stuff like that, I don't want it to be too dark on those edges. Got a little bit too much on my sponge there. I'm just going to go on that spine now. Now my sponge has gone, the water's gone, you can hear it almost, but the water's gone out of it. But I need it moist in order to do this, because otherwise it'll land up with like blotches of pink paint, a bit like what it's doing now. Get the excess out. Can you see how it's starting? I don't know whether it would bring it up. It's starting to soften up. I'm going to go a little bit over it just for you guys to see it. But usually I would leave it quite like a dusty pink. But the reason I did the ink first was because the ink will make it that little bit darker, but it won't darken the pink completely. Now if I used acrylic paint to do these edges, what would happen was it would react with the acrylic, and I would get much more of a darker pink. and the one I want to work with. Don't know whether you guys can see that, but it has softened up. You might be able to see around the edges. See, that's what it's done. If you see the difference between there and there, I hope you guys can see that, because it will soften up, and the more you do it, the more it'll soften up. And being a plonker, I've just dabbed that straight in. Just want to do those edges a little bit more. Right, I'll open it up, and you see that where we did all this with the paper, but we didn't go around the edge, and the reason for that was because I wanted to do it with this technique of mine. So if I do it in a small section, you may be able to see it. There, can you see there's a slight difference between there and there? But the more I do it, and the more it'll dry, the more it'll come up. Like I say, you could use a darker colour, but I find a sponge doesn't give you, you know, when you sometimes, well, when I sometimes paint with my brushes, I sometimes end up with a darker colour than the one I was hoping to was, and that's because Chris, Rosie's outside, and you know, she's barking off. And that's because when you brush, it picks up all that paint. Can you hear my little dog outside barking? I have done a little bit on that thing there, the things. Thank you, Debbie, so much. I've been one of your subbies for a long time. I love your videos. Oh, bless. Ladies, I want to say that I live in the US, and sometimes it's hard for me to enter challenges because it would cost me a lot of money. I would like to say that I'm sorry. I love you all. Oh, bless. Angie? And you don't have to enter challenges to be involved in the craft community. You can just be involved, like, that's my dog, by the way. There's nothing wrong. She's got a toy in her mouth and she's trying to get my attention. And as I've got paint on my hands, she'll have paint on her head if I go, let me come here. Right. Right, now I'm going to go back to my, where is my sponge gone? There's my sponge. I'm going to go back to my vintage ink now, and you'll see what happens. I'm going to do the spine first, because I don't have to go back over it with the paint. See how it's given a real nice effect. I love this effect. Absolutely, I'm falling in love with it. And that was just by playing about with my room. Right, okay. Okay, so that is the paint side of it done. I understand, Angie Browns. I'm in the US also. I have to watch you all and everything. Oh, bless. It is hard entering challenges because you've got to sort of think of the postage costs and stuff, so I do get it. Right, okay. I'm going to try now hard not to cover all my hard work around the sides. Right, so I've got some corrugated card here. And like I said, I'm going to cover up the inside, but I wanted to play about with first. Just bouncing that up a little bit. I've also got some trims next to me now. I tear down some of this, and it does fall. You may not be able to see it, I don't know. But I'm gonna sort of play about with finding the edge. Now I had some of this material given to me, so I can't tell you where it's from. There. I'm just layering it up at second. Let's see. Grace, you'll need to call this dog of mine.
Rosie, come here, come on. Rosie, what are you doing?
Some pink there, and don't want to put too much because otherwise you're not going to see all my little painting technique. Okay, and I'll put a little bit of this edge on there. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I've got some of this trim now. This is like a frayed edge trim. I'm going to use, this is High Tack. I know that the actual writing's gone, but this is High Tack fabric glue. So yeah, it does work. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit just on the edge. Now you will see what I've done on that pink edge, because you'll see it when whoever gets it opens the box. I'm just going to lay a little bit down and go from there. Try to rip that wasn't working. Right, I'm going to glue this in. There. What was the other one I wanted to do? I wanted to do this one, but I think I'm going to have to cut this down slightly. There, so you can still see it in this corner. Hi Shaz! Is that fast drying glue? I wish. No. It is. I need to get the bottle down. I have got another bottle, thank God, because if I didn't, you wouldn't be able to see it. It is, I'm not using my glue gun. I haven't used my glue gun. Believe it or not, I haven't used my glue gun since I did Jane Angel Poses challenge. I've made a conscious decision not to use it because I suppose it's true, but June happened to mention that she's got creations that people have made her. And it has happened with stuff I've made and I've given away. I made Angie this beautiful, well, let me start again. June actually said in her challenge that she wanted people to make the snippet roll, because that's part of her challenge, out of fabric glue or sewing method, because she wanted to be able to use the embellishments that you put on. And that was fair enough, but she then also went on to say about how if you're using your glue gun, which is okay if you know, if you're using your glue gun, that's fine, but she went on to say if you're using your glue gun, sometimes the glue hardens and then over time it develops like a yellowy orangey kind of colour, and sometimes it can come away from whatever you're sticking. Hi Shirley. So yeah, that's what she said, and I made a really conscious decision not to use the glue gun when I was making a challenge, and I've enjoyed not using it that much that I haven't used it since. So yeah, I'll get you what I'm using. So I'd use these are the glues I've been using, so I'll get this glue in a sec. So I've been using silicone adhesive. That's what it's called, silicone adhesive. I've been using tacky glue. I think I use this glue, which you're not going to be able to see the writing, but on the new one you will. So anything to do with fabric, whether I'm sticking laces down, anything, I'm using high tack, all-purpose, very sticky glue. And it does dry quick. It doesn't take a lot of glue either to dry. And then if I'm using paper craft, it's tattered lace detailed glue. So those are the glues I'm using. Can't wait to visit all you ladies. So yeah, it dries to a certain extent. It dries quick enough for me to show you all what I'm going to be doing tonight. And I want to use fabrics tonight that are going to fray. So let me see. I'm going to stick this one on first. I did put a pin in this. Move that aside a sec. And like I say, June has got a point, because I've made projects in the past. Like I made Ange this beautiful jar with like loads of different things in it. And she keeps saying, what glue did you use? Because it keeps falling off. And I'm like, I used the glue gun. So yeah. Right, so there's that one. I'm going to stick this down. I wasn't sure whether to plug my glue gun in or not today. And I thought, shan't I? Right, there's that. Now, where's that piece I just cut off there? I want to just position this. I want to be able to see those laces. Right, so are we debating on, so with that one, I could use the birdcage in this one, or I could use the chandelier. Birdcage or chandelier. So there's the chandelier, so I would put the chandelier here in this corner, and then the birdcage I would put in the corner, and I'd make a feature of it, but there's a birdcage there. So what do you guys think? Chandelier, which is here, or birdcage, which is here, or even that one with the bird in? What am I making tonight? I am making, Shirley, this is a real simple little box that I'm making for somebody quite special, and I'm not going to say who it is. Or would you all like to know who it's for? It's only a little box, but it's for somebody a little bit special. And I just I don't know, I just wanted to send a little something. This has come off now because it's drying, but it doesn't come off when it's because I was waving it upside down. Size of the bird cage is better. Right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of pink on this, I think. Oh, and no, gesso. Let me get some gesso. I'm gonna do my chalk. Well, ladies, have to rest now. I have muscle spasm on my right side. Oh, bless. Sharon, I hope it gets better soon. Well, I'm saying it gets better soon. It never gets better, but I hope you be able to settle tonight to go to sleep soon. That's what I meant. Much love and hugs. Mwah. Thank you for stopping by. Let me get my gesso, I think, and I'm going to do like a real nice wash on this corrugated card. Chris, what did you do for my gesso?
What?
Gesso? What did you do for my gesso?
Gesso, I don't know where you put gesso.
Chris. Get this out. Gesso, please.
I don't know where it is. Oh, it's there.
Okay. I need a real rough brush. Where's the brush I was using? Let's see if I can wash this and use this. You're welcome, Sharon. See you on my videos, definitely. If you're not, like I say, subscribe to each other. Now I've taken the Mod Podge off this brush I was using, because that's what we're all here for, to be inspired by each other. And all I'm going to do is just give it like a real chalky feel. You may not be able to see all this when it goes on. Because this is corrugated card, it goes between the little lines. Oh gosh, I put too much on my brush then. There, that's better. Right. I'm going to position that there. I'm going to put some new lace here. Just trying to find a little bit of... I'm going to use the netting actually from this lace, I think. I think that's what I'll do. Because this is tea stained. Tea stained. He died. Right, I'm going to put, because this is paper and I'm sticking to wood, I'm not going to use that high-tack glue. I'm going to use, debating on whether to use sugar. Actually, can I use it? Oh yeah, I can, because it's for cards as well. Okay. There. I'm just going to put some of this. I may ruffle it up a little bit. I don't know whether to ruffle that up. I'm debating in my mind, no you weren't watching me, whether to ruffle that up Let me see what I got. I need something, like a little something. See if I can use this. I just want sort of that edge. A little bit of black. Let me see if there's black in this picture. Browns, but this is dusty pink. I think I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to stick some of this on. I need something just underneath there, I think. Right, I've got some, got a bit of that, you know, the first fabric I started with. I'm just going to put that there. Lay that on top, methinks. And then my picture, might even move this up because it's only a little bit. I just want it to peek through the edge. There. Right, okay, so I'm going to cut this off, because if I was to stick that on top, I'd waste all that lace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that there, because it peeks through. I'm going to stick that on top, and then I'm going to put that on top of there, so you'll be able to sort of see all the layers. That's what I'm going to do. Like I say, it's only a little section of it. Right. And oops. That will go there. I was going to put a bit of this dusty pink in, but I'm just thinking, shall I pop some here? That's what me thinks. No, that's not working. It's not working because I think it's too thick. It needs something more delicate. Right, I'm going to stick this down. Make a decision, Colette. Okay. Oops, there. And then I'm going to stick some of this gorgeous trim on. That's not straight and it's bothering me. Bring that over a little bit. There. I want you to be able to see the bird cage. Right. I like that. I'm glad you like it, Angie Brown. Oops. There, so there's all the layers underneath, and you can still see them all. The side of the box, it looks quite full. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of my laces out of my way. I am going to be using some of this trim, but I don't know whether yet. Let me just stick a small section off of the chandelier on. And I do have some vintage buttons I'm going to put on, I think with some flowers. Right, come on. Right. maybe not. I think that was a little bit too thick, but I will cut off these little details and put them on in a second. Right, we all agreed on the chandelier, so let me get, oh, the bird cage you just said. Right, so where are we going to go here? Bird cage. There. I'm going to raise that a little bit more. And I'm going to put, because this is, I'm thinking, instead of the pearls, to put the birds, because the box opens like that. What you all think? Like that idea? Or no? Or I'm just going to put the pin back in here because I think I finished with the eyelash trim. Yes. Okay. Right. I'm just getting my sticky pads out. Right, I'm going to raise this a little bit more. Okay. To do that, I've got these sticky pads. And I'm going to cut it there. Cut it there. That's not even quite straight. Needless to say, not bothered. And there. Okay. There's one. Cut this down a little bit more because I just want some to go on the top. So has anybody been crafting today? I haven't actually been crafting today, funny enough. Oops, there. And the glue, before anybody asks me, does dry clear. I haven't had any problems with using this glue at all. See the lace. This is true, Shirley. This is very true. I think the birds are. I was just thinking about that. Yes, you got an hour tonight. Have you been making anything much, Shaz? There. Right, I'm gonna put the bird. Where's my paintbrush gone? I'm just gonna gesso over this bird cage. Right, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of pink on these roses to bring them up a little bit. Oh, come on. And there we are. I have bent that a little bit. There. Bent it back into shape. And that's raised off the page. Right. Now I'm going to get some, I want some flowers. Can't tell you, you can't tell me, okay. Okay then, fine, that's fine. You can't tell me. Got some of these flowers. Oh, I know, some of those. Come on. Right. Oh, you are. Got some of these flowers, look. Wait. Just looking through my flower drawer to see if I can find any flowers to put on these. Any either white ones or pale ones I'm after. Oh, there's a white rose there. I think I might use that one. Okay. Right, let's see what we got right now. And for this bit, where's my silicone gone? I'm going to stick some silicone glue. Now, this stuff gets everywhere. Night, Angie Brown. Okay, so play about with these flowers. So I'm gonna sort of see if I can play about with these flowers to do it sort of like a bench. Right, I've got some of these rosebuds. There's one there, and I have got another one. Oh gosh. Oh my days, this is fiddly. Didn't realise how fiddly it was going to be. There. Can you see? I'm going to see if I've got any of the small ones. Oh, I have got some of them. Green. Bear with me, ladies. I should have done this before, but I didn't think. Oh, and I've got some of these flowers as well. These white ones. Right, okay. So I'm going to use my silicone glue. I've also got these leaves that got given to me. Right, I'm going to use my silicone glue to stick this down because it does get quite fiddly to do. But as long as I've got a rough idea of what I'm doing, I'll be fine. Right, my silicone glue has ripped. The bottle's ripped. So what I'm tending to do now is push down in the gap. I'm trying to think of something. And this dries clear too. There. Right, I'm gonna cut this back off because I want it laying flat. Maybe that side. Stop, stick to me, right? There. I don't know whether to use them flowers, them leaves, or these ones. Yeah, these ones are nicer. Now, I got told when I bought this, if you buy the silicone glue and you're making cards and you want it and you didn't have any of the standard foam items to stand your, to make your item raise, you could put this stuff on the back. Now I'm only putting a little bit on. If you put quite a bit on, that would act as your sponge, and you wouldn't necessarily, well, you wouldn't need, see, and it gives you that instant raise. You don't know whether you'll be able to see that, but I've put a little bit on, and it's only, well, it's only a little bit on because I don't want it to raise too much. Just gonna put them down here. I might need them more in a second. There. Where's those little tiny bits? Do you think it's all coming along? Ah. Okay. Put that there. Right. Now I do have some of this. I think I want to stick some of this down. Oops. One. Oh, ah. Oh, the concentration. There. Take another leaf, just like so. It's coming out quite pretty. Now, because I want to give this bird cage, I was going to say bird box then, a bit of dimension, I'm going to stick some of the leaves just behind it, so I could stick some of this trim just on top. Right, let's use the tweezers. Oh my days, come on. Oh, that, do you know what I mean? Come on. There, look. You see how pretty that looks? Flowers are a pretty touch. Very pretty clip. Thank you, ladies. I think because... oh, I don't want to put it there. Yeah, I do. I don't want to go down too much, otherwise she'll look as if she's wearing a leaf in her hair. Oh. And I'm just going to stick that there, and that'll be the top done, right? Okay, so we're getting somewhere now. Right, so let's see what other things we want to stick on there. I'm going to stick a bit of pearl trim. Now, this is all drying. So by the time the box is completely finished, it'll all be dry. So I'm going to see if I've got any, let's think, flat back pearl trim, do you reckon? Oh, come on. Right. Oh, I know. I can get some out. There. Just enough. This is like a pale dusty pink down one side. And I'm gonna stick some of this. Right, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna stick on. If I can get it out of my drawers, it's all tangled up. Angie bought me one, well, I had that in my swap for Christmas. And because I want a bit of bling going on in this picture, I'm just going to snip the end off to give me that little tiny piece. And I'm going to use my spatula again. And I'm going to, let's see if we can put it in her hair. I'm hoping that she's going to go just like so. Yeah. But there's a little bit left. I didn't quite cut it to the edge. There, that's better. There. See? It just gives it a little bit of a touch. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick that flat back bill, I think. Or shall I go light? See if I got any light. Or shall I go ivory? There's the pink. And this is delicate ivory. What do you guys think? The pink or the ivory, would you say? I quite like both. So there's the ivory. See if I can put the pink next door to it. Or because we've got the pink flowers going on, the pink or the pink. The ivory or the pink. Everybody's saying ivory. Shaz says ivory. Shirley says ivory. Ivory, okay. Okay, so with this, now I know it's not going to stick with that high-tack fabric glue. It may, as it says trimming. Let's see if it will. If it comes off in about an hour, I know I've used the wrong glue, but it should be okay. Right, let's put some of this on. There. I'm just going to cut it there, and then I think I would call that done. I don't think I want to add any more to that, because if I add any more it might take away from what I've actually done. I hope you all enjoyed that. It was something a bit different. I do have little stick pins that I could stick in, but I don't know. No, I won't. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. I did cut out these. And I did cut out these to make my own flower before I came on. But I don't see if I know, see, projects like this, and it's just me, and it may be just me, but projects like this you can sort of go overboard and overdo it. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep it quite elegant and quite natural and quite sort of, I want the picture to do most of the work, so I don't want to do nothing much to it. So Debbie says beautiful, Colette, and Shirley says beautiful as always. So I am so pleased, Shirley, that you love this. Ava says gorgeous as always. Thank you, Ava. Thank you everybody for watching. Please hit the like button, and if you do, I might do more videos. Actually, I think I will. More videos on vintage projects, because I know you really enjoyed me doing that vintage wall hanging just before Christmas, and I really enjoyed doing that with you. And yeah, I mean, that didn't take so long, and I haven't really done that much to it, but it does look, see, there's the side view, there's all those nice laces, and you can see them all. And the glue will dry. It does dry clear, and it will dry perfectly well. So I'm not worried in the slightest that it's not going to dry, because it will. And like I say, I've used a conscious decision not to use the glue gun. It's the first live I've done where I haven't used the glue gun at all. So thank you everybody for watching. I will speak to you all next Monday live on YouTube. Have a lovely rest of the week. I will continue to watch and support your channels as I always do. And yeah, any questions or any comments, drop them by, and I would love to catch up and read. And I will speak to you all then. Good night, God bless. Thank you all for sticking around to watching and for all your lovely comments. I love you as always, and I will speak to you all during the week. Bye for now. Take care. Bye now.